Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Pundits Pundit. I'm the Motor City Mad Mouth, not the Pundits Pundit. There's only one of those, okay? But meanwhile, we have a really good show lined up. So for those of you that are in the chat room, going to get to you in a moment. Candy will be putting those up as soon as possible. But meanwhile, let's go ahead and bring on Mr. Pundit himself, Jacob Christer. Welcome back to the big show.
What is going on? How you been?
Doing all right. What about you, George Eichhorn?
I'm doing okay, and the Tigers are doing okay in Detroit, so all is pretty well so far. Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, I watched the doubleheader today before I started prepping for the show. Not bad team that you have up there. Far better what I got to deal with in Miami with an 0-8 team and a depleted pitching staff. Oh my God! You talk about a team with a train wreck. But I'll get into that another time. This is not for that. Meanwhile, Denzel Snipes, welcome back to the big show.
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of been a while, man. But I'm here, and we've got a loaded show, so let's get rolling.
I think loaded is putting it mildly. And Candy Ebling will be on as well. And then Jennifer Matthew Lewis will make an appearance later on in the broadcast. So with that said, okay, let's set the record straight on Audi Crooks. Okay, Jacob Christer went out there and put a tweet up there for the ages. And you know what? I'm going to read the entire tweet from Side Sox and then Jacob's reply. And then I'm going to ask him a couple questions and I'll open it up to the chat room to go ahead and contribute. So first of all, Side Sox, which is considered at Iowa Sox, says Audi Crooks will be the face of college basketball for the next 3 to 4 years and be the best player ever from Iowa. Well, our buddy Jacob Christer, who I do know is never at a loss for words and isn't afraid to voice his opinions, lived up to his reputation, says BS, paraphrasing it. She will be too injured to play regularly with all the weight on her. And I ended up getting a nice friendly email from one of the parents, which I didn't particularly like, but so be it. You get that every now and then in the business. So here's the thing, Jacob, okay? I know you like to voice opinions on Twitter. I get that, okay? But there comes a point where if you put a generalized tweet of about 50, 60 characters, you're leaving yourself wide open for a firestorm here, and you did exactly that with this tweet. So give it a mindset about why you put it in the context that you did.
Well, the context that was into it was absolutely a mistake because I should have gone all the way through. But a lot of people don't read the longer term. But the context was towards someone like Cy Sox, these are the types that they will just bring any name out there and say, oh, they're going to be the new base. They're going to be, yay. And they do it when somebody has 40 points, has the 40-point game. That was an amazing game by Audi Crooks. Let me tell you that right now. Tremendous game. I saw the highlights after, saw her move. She's a great player. She's a great athlete. It was a great game. But it's something you won't see after, like, the next game when they lose. They don't say these things. That was toward a Cy Sox or a fan like that. In the fact that it's like they all want to say, we're going to win the Super Bowl the minute you have a game, even if you're 1-7. Or they want to, they basically complete hyperbole at all times. Problem is, it's the same thing I have with fans all the time. Front offices listen to these people and they go overboard. So that's another thing about that. Now I did do that in her case. Now I want to explain, there's going to be a second question on the thing. I want to bring this. 10 years ago, I had 8 to 10 years, I'd say. I had the same situation with the whole thing named a tennis player named Taylor Townsend. I
remember that. Yes.
I had this 8 to 10 year. When I watched her play, Denzel, I thought this is future number one. I mean, Martinez' power and the touch of Chris Evert, or Steffi or whatever. Amazing court awareness. And tennis is probably the one game I know, even though I know a lot of sports, it's probably the game I know the most because I played it longer. I played way over 30 years. I understand the idea of court awareness, all that stuff. She has it in spades. Amazing. But the thing was, this was during a time when Patrick McEnroe said she needed to lose some weight, and then all of her sponsors basically got out. They said no, there was no sponsorship, so she basically had to go get some help to go to the U.S. Open. She gets on an ESPN interview and says, I want to be, instead of trying to get something, she says, I want to be an influence for the big girls, which Serena was. And Serena had muscle. My whole argument with people, and I had this whole 2-day deal with, I'll say this, Scott. I had a 2-day argument with people over this. It probably should have been brought in the first day. I had a whole 2-day deal. The thing I said to them was, I'm not telling anybody to go against their natural frame, their natural body frame. I'm saying I want them to be able to get some muscle and get themselves in shape, get more flexible, because then the older they get, it gets worse. And someone like Taylor, she got everything that happened with it afterwards, she got to about 200 in the world in singles. She got a bit of injuries. She took some time off, had a kid, which congratulations to her. She's always been an amazing doubles player. So forget the whole body thing on that. She's an amazing doubles player. Grand Slam titles there. But she ended up losing some weight, gaining some muscle, and she's 72 in the world now. So Taylor granted my point about this, even if they didn't want to hear it from me. It's the fact that I don't want anybody to go against what their frame be. I just don't want them to get hurt because because of feelings. I don't want them hurt later, 23, 24 years old, and constant ankle problems, constant muscle pulls or pops, because people are afraid to hurt feelings. And I just want everybody to have an accountability to want to do, because here's the thing. The way Audi played, she could be amazing, especially in the pros.
Right. All right, so let me go over a couple of other things here in the chat room. Slow down, Candy, with the chat room. Okay, we'll go to Quad Kyle. And these are feedback from the road. That's a disgusting comment. D-Lo says, not cool, man. So he's not crazy about what you said. And then Blozo says, I'm absolutely sick to my stomach with a comment like that. Okay, then Joshua Dorr, no shortage there. Your lack of firsthand experience in competitive sports and own physical condition, what qualifications do you have, or do you believe you possess to make judgments about an athlete's abilities based on their weight? And I think
Josh, I just said it. I just said something.
But it's okay. You can repeat it again in case you didn't understand it. Go ahead.
Josh, I just explained it. You're not wanting to listen. That's the point on this. You're not wanting to listen. I said this from the by itself, but there's a lot of different there's a lot of different issues. We can go to the males. Remember Sean Kemp, Denzel?
Yep.
Remember how many injuries he got after he gained weight?
Yeah, look at Sean Kemp. Look at Zion Williamson. Look at Zion Williamson right now.
Yeah, Zion Williamson. This isn't a woman thing. It isn't a woman thing. This isn't anything. This is an athlete thing. You said Zion Williamson. When he puts the weight back on, I mean, he averages 29 games a year, Zion Williamson. He finally played more than that this year. But he averages 29 games a year for the last 4 or 5 years. Right. Just because of all these things. We had Sean Kemp, who was a high flyer beyond high flyers. He was on 3 different teams, 2 or 3 different teams. And remember what he was like with Cleveland. It's like after they put it on, it wasn't the same. Then they got injured all the time. It's not a what qualifications thing. It's just there's history behind it. And the thing is, if something does happen, if I'm wrong, feel free, because I'm going to get grandfathered into all of this on my Twitter feed. But if I'm wrong, you're going to let me know it. But if I'm right, you're going to disappear. That's the point I'm making, everyone. You're going to disappear. You disappeared with Taylor the minute she took time off or got injured. I haven't heard a thing since she won matches a few times with that, and you were going after me. Haven't heard a thing since she got hurt the first time. I haven't heard anything. This is the thing. This isn't a woman thing or do anything like that. I said it, like I said, with Sean Kemp and all of them all the years. Let's be, as professionals and everything like that, we need to be able to watch ourselves, because you can end your career early. Okay, that's all I've been saying. And Audi is an amazing athlete. Sorry about that, Scott. She was a shot putter. She was on the track and field thing. She's a basketball player, amazing athlete. We can say this like in the Dusty Rhodes. Remember how great of an athlete Dusty Rhodes was, Denzel? Right. Doesn't mean they're not athletes.
And you know what? Quick point. Kobe said the same thing about Shaquille O'Neal.
Mm-hmm. And Shaq, how many times was he hurt some of those times he'd be hurt early in the year, and Kobe kept going after him,
Yeah.
saying you should have gotten in shape early in the year. You should have been getting into shape off season. Then he'd get in shape during the season, when they're running during the season and winning 30 games in a row.
Right.
Then he'd get in shape then. But Kobe was reminding him of this all the time.
Yeah.
And I've always said Shaq, the Orlando Shaq, would have been an all-time great.
Well, no doubt about that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Especially since it actually had come out later on that they may not have reported Shaq's true weight at that time period with the Lakers. Some are saying he was closer to 400 pounds. Let that sink in. That he was actually closer to 400 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing was, and see how much of an athlete he was in his foot movement, even when he did that. But that was the thing. It's like he had to take breaks. He would be out of shape first couple of games. He'd be gassing early, and then he'd get himself into shape. But that's what Kobe was making deals with. That's what he was trying to say with this. Males and females, this is the thing. I don't want Audi to get hurt. I didn't want Taylor to get hurt. I wanted Taylor to be number one. I wanted Taylor Swanson to be number one in the world. That's where I was frustrated with. Her game is still number one in the world. You have Denzel watch a match of hers sometime. Just watch how hard she hits it. And her placement and her positioning. She should be number one in the world. That's where I get the frustrations with it.
Okay, let me continue to the chat room. I'm going to put them all up there. You're going to see them, and then you can respond whatever manner that you see fit. We'll go to the next one. Okay, that was not cool. Oh, up there, that was not cool at all, Jacob. You are not doing a good job backtracking. Now, that's his opinion. Okay, it's his opinion. He's entitled to it. And interesting, I hear a lot of excuses and not a lot of accountability.
You want me to apologize? I'm not apologizing for that. That's your problem.
Okay. All right.
You two are wanting me to apologize. I'm not apologizing.
Okay.
That's where you're at.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's all right. Now we got Will Vogel, somebody you're all too familiar with. Okay. Audi Crooks, let's see, scored a freshman record 40 points. First round of an NCAA tournament, setting a new single game record. Freshman.
Great point, Will. And I'm going to touch on that when I hit my point about it. My view was a little bit different, but go ahead, Scott. I'll wait till you get to me.
All right. Now let me ask you a couple of questions, Jacob, because
there's no pivot, idiot. There's no pivot, idiot.
All right. So here's the thing, Jacob. Okay. The one thing I know when I first heard about it, of course, I ended up reading it via email. Okay. And here's my point, okay? The only thing you did wrong in this whole exchange was you didn't put enough on your tweet to show, you didn't use the necessary characters that you needed to include the Taylor point. Otherwise, I don't think the backlash would have been as severe as it appears to have become now. But there's a thing that I'm sure a lot of people wonder about, okay? Me personally, there's certain things you don't do in life, okay? You don't talk about politics and religion, okay, which is why I don't have them on this network at all. But number two, the one thing I always say is that it's not a good idea to question anybody's weight, let alone a woman's weight, including a teenager. I understand the Zion Williamson analogy. Number one, he's a bust. That's all I can say about him. This guy's an absolute overweight bust. I don't even know why I'm mentioning him, but it was brought up. I'm going to do it. But I've always been a true thing that trying to catch in a woman's weight to me is something me personally try to stay away from. Okay. And I'll tell you why, a couple of reasons. Number one, I've dated some of the most beautiful women in the world, but intellectually they were not at my level. And where did that get me? Now I'm married to the most unbelievable woman on the planet who may not possess the petite qualities, but boy, she's petite in the brain and she's got it all. So in my opinion, she's A1, and that's why I'm with this girl. God only knows how she puts up with me, but don't put that in the chat because I will vaporize you. No kidding. Okay, really. But
good save there for yourself, Scott.
Come on. Listen, I've been with Icorn, and how many times did we vaporize people when they got out of control with Ron Cameron? But the reality, Jacob, is this, where you may have been in error, okay? And I'm just saying, because you view me as a mentor, right? So I'm just trying to give you some, and you have my book. Hopefully you'll be able to read that a lot more. Me personally, I would never, if I can avoid it, question a woman's weight, let alone a teenager. And now and here's where some other things that should be brought up to the forefront. Okay, that in this email that I have referring to you, he completely dismisses the accomplishments of Audi Crooks, Iowa State women's basketball star, because he thinks she's too fat. Maybe, okay, but which he thinks will cause major injury going forward. He has absolutely nothing to base this on, of course, other than the way she looks. Again, this is an email that I got, Jacob. So hear me out. Truth is, she has had a larger frame for years, yet it has not stopped her from starting every high school and college game to date. Not only that, she was Iowa State University's first All-American by freshman ever. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but she literally works with a certified, educated nutritionist, doctors on a regular basis to make sure she can compete at the highest level. I had to put that out there just to give you background on the young lady, and that's what I did. So what I'm trying to do is, as you posted that comment, these are some other facts that perhaps you didn't know about until you're finding about them now. But let's face it, if you're with a certified, educated nutritionist and doctor to get you ready to play a game at the highest level, that does have substance to it. So with that said, I just want to get that out there. Me personally, I don't question a woman's weight. I think that's a cardinal sin. Don't do it if you can avoid it, because it's a sensitive thing, and I got the greatest girl on the planet anyway, so I can brag. All right, with that said, let's go to Will Vogel. All right, so go ahead, Candy. She led the team in scoring and second in rebounding. Continue on. She stopped living in the past like Jesse. Okay, that's what they said. She joined Bill Walton as an only player in NCAA tournament to score 40 points on 90% shooting. The 40 points matched Brittany Griner's record for most points by a Big 12 player in the NCAA. Do we have any more? Let's keep them going. Tournament game, got you there. All right, I'm just going over them. Okay, there you go, Jacob. Here's the guy. Scott is my main man. Thanks, Jesse. And all the people are saying kind words about me. So, Kyle.
No.
All right. Well, Kyle answered your question. All right, keep going. Okay, show us your tummy so we can see comment on your weight.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay, yeah.
All right, well, just go with the flow. Hey, you know what, Jacob? Do me a favor, would you? You read these comments.
You step into a court, decades ago? What am I, about 60 or 70 there, Denzel? I mean, yeah. I mean, no. You're obviously not listening. This is, no. Well, actually, you might get your point. You'll hear it tonight, Josh, but you're going to get your wish. I'll tell you later. But we going to get this. Let me explain something like this. Remember what I call it, Denzel, emotional nitwit?
Yes, that's correct. That's what you call it.
We got a bunch of them here. They're not listening. They're not listening to anything I'm saying here, so we're getting this. I don't want anything to happen to her, is why the mistake I made was just doing that little 50 to 60 character thing, and Scott said. I should have gone farther, but I've also noticed that people don't read it when it's that far, and it's the unfortunate part. They want to read what they feel controversial, and then they want to get outraged. It's like I should have gone farther. You're correct, but I didn't want anything to happen to Taylor, and I don't want anything to happen to Audi. And it's like I would love to see. I'd like to see Audi, but the issue is you all talking about that she was the all states, that she's done all this stuff, and she was in track, and she was in shot put. She was amazing. You're also talking. The thing is, we all age, we all get hurt. You know what I mean? We all get hurt, and that's what worries me.
Hey Scott, real quick, if you could come to me so I can at least throw a little different perspective out there. Okay. Now, while I do agree that, and to Jacob's point, where he was coming from was a place of health, like, okay, like we don't want knee problems to happen and that's why the Kobe and Shaq and Zion thing came up, okay? And then I do agree with Scott. It's like, you know what? Talking about women's weight like that is kind of a shaky territory, But I differed from that tweet because of more I can't say it tonight, a hyperbole sense of stance. And this tends to happen with fans sometimes. And it tends to happen with some analysts too, is they watch somebody have a breakout game and then they automatically want to anoint them on Mount Rushmore. So Audi Crooks and Will had the tweet in there, put up the stats, but she had 40 points. She had a 40-point game as a freshman. and this is not taking anything away from Audi. She had an amazing game. She did. But someone went out there and actually fixed their fingers to type or fixed their mouth to say that she's the greatest player in the state of Iowa, when literally there's a woman from the same state in the Final Four right now who had 41 points and 12 dimes in a revenge game against LSU. That's the part that pissed me off. So with that being said, my stance, it wasn't nothing about the woman's size. Listen, Camila Cardoso is 6'7". She's a big gal, and she's going to be something in the WNBA. I'm sure of it. Okay?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, listen, there are players of all shapes and sizes, and as long as they can carry that, then that's great, okay? They have nutritionists, they have dietitians out there, they have trainers. So I'm sure all of this is being monitored. But with that being said, dissing Caitlin Clark like that, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's not saying Audi won't be great. Audi just might be great. But let's not crown her after a game or two, or even one season. We're talking about a woman who has the D1 scoring record for women's and men's.
Right.
So to sit here and say, oh, well, that's the greatest player in the state of Iowa, very, very, very disingenuous. All right, I'm done. That was
I'll say
no,
this
that's okay. So let me add a couple things here. This is a lesson that a lot of people have to learn. And that's why social media, I do what I have to do, but it's not like I'm really a fan of it. Okay. But Jacob, let's keep the reality in perspective. Okay.
Sure.
There's a thing called CYA, but I won't use it because everybody knows what it is. So I'll just preference it by CYBS. Okay. Cover your backside. And unfortunately, where your tweet may have come up a little short, Jacob, is you didn't do that. Again, I agree. I mean, first of all, Hank Gathers was in great shape, but what happened to him? The poor man died of cardiac arrest at Loyola Marymount. Okay. So whether you're in the greatest of shape or you're not, size is what it is, and there might be other factors. Now, again, is it premature at the moment to say Audi Crooks is the best in Iowa? I think maybe so, especially when you're putting her on a stratosphere as Caitlin Clark. But the reality is, Jacob, no matter what we want to say, okay, it's still hard to, regardless of that, is to go out there and talk about a woman's age. That's all I'm saying. I understand and I knew that when we came on here with this topic, it was going to provide a lot of activity amongst everybody, not only in here, but as well as in the chat room. But you know what? This is the kind of things that we do here, okay? We want to get the important issues out there. Pundit was designed for that reason, as well as some of our other shows, okay? We are not afraid to tackle the tough topics. We are not. Let's continue in the chat room.
And might I add, and there are some people in the comments, and they're already different on it. That's cool, but that's one thing about Jacob, okay, is he's not backtracking. He always owns what he says, whether he's right or wrong. If he's wrong, he'll admit that, but he'll always own it. He's not going to sit there and say something and then turn around after some backlash and say, oh, well, I didn't say that or anything like that. No, he owned absolutely every word, every syllable of what he said. And either you'll agree or you'll agree to disagree. It is what it is.
I'm not Jalen Rose with a hostage video at the end of that one game. Remember right in the middle of that one game with the hostage video, say how sorry. I'm not that one. Probably not the thing, but I'm not going to do that. But no, I don't get to this point. I know what you're saying every day. Everybody's thinking I'm pivoting. No, I'm not pivoting. I'm saying this. I don't want any of this to happen at all. You all did. There's different views of you. Different ones of you disappeared on me when I was right about Taylor Townsend. You disappeared. You're going to disappear again if this happens, and then you're going to come back at me like Mad Dog if she proves me wrong. And please, prove me wrong. Because you know what I say when I'm wrong, Denzel. Mm-hmm. But I just don't want – when you're that good of an athlete, I want it to be around a long time. I want it to be special. And I want it for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
I want it for everyone. That's my thing.
Well, good, because you got more things coming out of the chat room. And a lot of it's don't worry. My opinion, what I got from people in Montreal was worse, but you're getting it pretty good tonight. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. You created this show, and now here I am taking the forefront of at least this particular segment. So let's continue on. All right, we know about the tummy thing. Okay, so C says, Jacob, when you step on in a court, when did you step on a court? When? Decades ago? All right. I
No,
don't know.
no, absolutely. Look at I just turned about 85. Totally.
Yeah. Well, I'm 90.
I'm
so
older than you, George.
Yeah. Don't hold your
Yeah.
breath. All right. Joshua
I
Door's a
will be
little
one.
bit hard.
By the
Hold
way, Women's Warehouse, I will be a coach. So there.
All right. Well, okay. Now, Joshua Door, boy, he's really calling for you to resign, Jacob.
Well, wait till the end of the show, Josh. Trust me.
All right. That's okay. Let's keep it rolling. The chat room up. You know, these comments are going to get up there. What root comment was posted before Scott? What was that again? Before Scott read it? Okay. Stop the passive aggressiveness, Jacob. All right. There you go. There's your fans out there talking to you. And now Women's Warehouse, talk about your true colors. Get this man out of here. Well, whatever. I mean, you know, stay with us later on, Women's Warehouse. We have a few other topics, but I want to hit this one first so that way everybody will make it to January 1st. Okay. All right. So part
That's
two.
a good question. What Josh has here is a very good question. Do you believe there are ethical considerations for broadcasters, particularly male commentators, when discussing the body and weight of female athletes, especially at the collegiate level? Is there a second part?
He says that was his first part. He must
There
have
it is. It's
mentioned
right
that.
there.
If so, what factors should be taken into account? How do you navigate these considerations in your commentary? That's a very good question, Josh. That really is. My thing I've always spoken to people on, you have no idea how much I despise the Neanderthals when you get on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. There are ones that are talking, and I'm not kidding you, Denzel. There was ones that was talking, that was showing circles and showing quote unquote fat on Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah.
And saying she's a mid.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea, yeah, right. You have no idea how, and then they'll do it to they'll do the Taylor Swift also. And she's got a little bit of, it's like, you're Neanderthals, you're idiots, and you watch too much porn. That isn't what, and I'm glad you asked that, Josh. The thing I want to see with something like this, I've always had a thought process, is there are both men and women that have bigger frames. My main thing I always aim at is I'm never saying, telling people just to lose weight just to do this. I'm saying the thing for health. I am a pro muscle person when it comes to people. I want them to be able to gain. I want them to be able to gain muscle, be in the gym, do that kind of stuff. I want that for them, you know, and be able to be more flexible. And that's where my consideration is when I talk about it. I'm not here to make fun of their aesthetic look. That is for 12-year-olds. And they shouldn't even say it. To be very honest. But where I do, as far as a sports commentator, I absolutely believe if you're going to bring anything up, whether it's man or woman, I have a belief that you bring it up based off of their, you know, and the possible injury, you know, the injury possibilities. That's where I have a belief. Otherwise, don't bring up the number. I saw a video of Kim Mulkey years ago, 1984, 1985 or something, 88 maybe, don't know which. They showed the whole weight of everybody. 5'4", 125, what she was. Then they'd say 6 foot 185. You're not going to see that anymore, and you shouldn't. You shouldn't. That really doesn't make much of a difference. All I'm bringing is the athleticism, and I'm trying to bring the athleticism, the flexibility, and hoping they don't get hurt for future injury because people get older. You brought up my hair. I'll just tell you right now, I'm 45 years old. I have to be on a roller twice a day, stretch twice a day to make sure that I can keep my posture and be able to stuff like that. I did martial arts and blew my back. I've done these things, but as older I get, I have to constantly stretch, constantly stay flexible. I wish I could be even better than I was, but that's what I'm at. That's where I'm at with bringing up athleticism. Don't do the aesthetic, but you want to keep someone like Audi Crooks around. If she's got this kind of skills, you want to keep her around 15 years. I'm saying this. You want to keep these. I wanted to see Taylor Townsend be number one in the world. You want them to be, but you don't want to see the injuries, and you don't want to see them just because. And just because we don't want to hurt their feelings. That's all I'm bringing up.
Okay, let me continue on with Quad Kyle. He says, take a look at Bryson DeChambeau. He gained a lot of weight and now is one of the best and most elite golfers. So, again, what you pretty much are stating there is, you know, as long as he takes care of himself and he can carry the weight, well, sure. I mean, that's a different – when you're talking about golf, you know, is that some of that weight muscle weight or just regular other weight, and that's what we don't know. But
It
yeah, he
depends.
certainly.
It depends. And to his comment, and that was a great point. But to if you
Yeah.
could bring the comment back up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Qualcomm, yeah, no, you make a great point on that one. And now he's one of the most elite golfers. Here's my only pushback on that. No offense, okay? Golf and basketball are two totally different sports. Which one moves around the most and moves around the fastest? And okay, I'm not gonna sit here and call golf walking or anything like that, but basketball and golfing are kind of two different sports. But you're right. He did gain weight. It's still, what type of weight did he gain? And yeah, he's one of the most elite golfers out there. So yes, to your point, yes, you're correct.
Well, Quad's right on something. Kyle's right on something. He did gain a lot of weight on it, but a lot of the things also. Do you play golf, Denzel?
Oh man, I've yet to play a game, honestly.
One of the things you'll notice is once you do play, and you'll play later. The thing is, I can see you playing later in your life because you'll be in business. You know what I'm saying? And you'll play that. There's a lot of torque on your body when you're taking the swings and stuff. And it's like one of the things that happened to Tiger is he was one of the most highly torqued drives in the game. And once he got himself hurt, he just never stopped getting hurt. And he was nothing but muscle.
Yeah, I totally get that. The only thing that I was saying is between golf and basketball, which one is more physically demanding?
Oh yeah, basketball. There's no question.
Yeah, that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, when I was playing golf, there were two words that stood out in my mind: Big Bertha. Hit it straight and it goes deep.
Deep.
My echoes of the deep. All right, let's go back to my uncle in the furniture business, Joshua Dorr. Okay. He says, you need to watch yourself, Jacob. Well, I'm telling you, man, you got a bodyguard here. I don't know. Let's keep it rolling. Now, we do have other topics to address. How many times did you get hurt, Jacob? You were certainly not in.
They know me, I'll tell you. Well, no, they definitely know me. Well, I'll tell you, I might not be in the shape I want to be in, but people that say this and go, I can say this part. People that spend their time going after me, I'm probably in better shape than them. The ones that aren't going after or they're quote unquote ignoring me, they're in way better shape than I am. Because you know why? They're in a gym. They're not on there blasting on me all the time. Could I be better? Absolutely. But this is right now, I'll say this. I'll admit it. I'm 6'3", 225 pounds. So I was 238 at my most. I was really chubby. I lost 28 pounds at COVID. So I did, just making a few changes. I'm up 225 now. I would like to maybe it'll be a little less, but I like where I'm at right now. It's like I could be a little more lean. There's little things like that. But if you are blasting all over me all the time, 9 times out of 10, I'm only going to be in better shape than that guy because you're in a basement. If you're not blasting on me or you've ignored me, you're probably in a gym. Okay,
let's go back to Quad again. So why do you think you received so much negative feedback on the weight comment?
Same as the Taylor Townsend thing 10 years ago. It's like you're really. These are things that probably shouldn't be said if by itself. I went and I didn't make myself clear. I just got frustrated, as you know, Denzel, at people that are just those are the people that are immediately wanting Caitlin Clark out of the name. You know what I'm saying? They're wanting them out of the way. It's the same ones that want Babe Ruth out of the name sake of life and in history. They want to create their own histories. So this was more of my frustration when I did it to Cy Sox, more of my frustration of trying to erase history for your own benefit. That wasn't that thing. Now, I am not pivoting nor backtracking nor any of that kind of stuff. I have reasons why I say it. As sure as heck don't want to see them hurt. I want to see a long career for them. If I'm right, though, every one of these people are going to disappear. And I'm telling you this, guys.
All right. I'm only going to get to a few more comments because we do have other topics I want to address. Hey, George, do you want to say something? I know you've been relatively patient real quick. And I want to hear about, first Woman's Warehouse. I'm sure Jacob lied about his weight. Well, you know what? Don't be surprised if a lot of us lied about our weight at the doctors to avoid getting on the scale. So, Josh, I hear you, Woman's Warehouse. I don't like going to the doctor, so I just take the morning weight so they don't have to get me later. So, but I understand your point. Just trying to add a little light to the comment a little bit. So, George, real quickly.
I don't agree with Jacob's comment. I really don't. There are, many things that you could have looked at, say that she was on a diet program or she was getting counseling on her situation, So, in other words, you jump to a conclusion that you don't like what other people do when they come in and put these comments in on Twitter and social media, but then that's kind of the way it looked to them that that's what you did. So I agree with Scott. I would never bring up about a woman's weight. And I've watched many, many, many games and many Olympics. Trust me, those announcers had plenty of opportunity to critique individuals running track and field or whatever they're doing, but they never do because we know that that's not allowed. The Jim McKays of the world and the Bob Costas's and the Mike Tiricos. I mean, you just can't say that stuff. And we know it's not racially motivated in some cases, but some people have gotten fired for comments that were perceived to be racist. And I'm not comparing you to that. I'm just saying that on network television or even local television, guys have been bounced and lady announcers as well. So I wouldn't have done it, and I wouldn't, but I'm not you. So I can't tell you to apologize and make you do it because that's your free will. But I will say this, that this young lady does have a bright future. I'm pulling for you, Austin, and let's hope for the best for you and a great career. That's all I want to say, Scott.
Oh, that's good enough. And obviously, Josh wanted to hear your standpoint, your viewpoint, and you get it. Let me mention a couple names, Jacob, before we bring you on. I got to know Al Campanis really well at the 1981 winter meetings. And when he had that infamous thing on Nightline where he talked about African Americans not being suitable, 41 years of employment, gone. Okay. Jimmy the Greek, a very heralded, gone. Okay. Rush Limbaugh. So I got to ask you, Jacob, okay, and let's kid around about this, okay?
Sure.
On Twitter, are you trying to be the next Rush Limbaugh or
like Shot DJ?
Yeah.
Where's my money like that?
Or seriously? Howard Stern, because you're going to have to do a little bit better than 1,100 followers, my brother.
Where's my money on this? Seriously, I wish I was Rush in that case. But the thing is, you can't win for losing with something like this. And I can just be honest about that. Right. It's because if I went in full, I brought this up earlier. Everybody's seen this. If I bring it up in full, like I should have, we probably don't have this conversation right now because no one reads it that far. They want the bites. They want the quick bites so they can get outraged or something to agree with. So it's like, it's one way or the other. But I probably no question should have explained myself deeper. There was frustration with where I was with Sysock based off of that. But when I said it based off that, it was nothing against her because I've seen that game and I said it during our 2-day arguments. Well, not that whole thing. I said she's a great athlete. She is all that. My issue is I just want her to be able to continue and go. And let's not play feelings.
Let me point this out, my friend. There's perception and there's reality. The perception is you didn't go deep enough, and we are having this conversation. Yeah. If you're looking to be Howard Stern and Rush Limbaugh, you have a long ways to go, my friend, because you don't have the following in the stature.
Especially this.
And that too. Okay, but here's the thing. When you look, my use of Twitter is only mainly one thing. I don't like to opinion. All I like to do is put our content up there so people can learn. But some people are more opinionated. But if you're going to be opinionated, all I say is the biggest rule in our industry as journalists, and you're going to read that as you go deeper in the book, is you better have enough facts to back up your opinion. Otherwise, you're going to deal with more situations like this. A couple more things I want to get to. We do have other topics I want to get to. So would you apologize, okay, to the family? And here, just put it up there. Candy, do you apologize for a family? And if no, do you plan to?
No, because I have nothing against her. I have nothing against. You're all missing the point. Are you a trainer? I got that. Thank you very much. By the way, turn off the caps lock. No, here's the thing. No, I'm not, because I want the best for her. That I'm not going to apologize for wanting the best for her. And thank you for telling me all this tonight, Scott. But good job, C. C's got bad mouth looking good tonight.
Thank you.
But no, I'm not going to apologize for wanting the best for her. I wasn't going to apologize. I didn't ask me this years ago with Taylor Townsend. I wasn't going to apologize for wanting the best for her. I didn't apologize. I'll give another one, Denzel. I'll say this too. Remember Coco Gauff?
Yep.
Remember Coco Gauff? I remember saying, I was around during this time. You guys saw my tweets on this. I said I didn't want her winning Grand Slams until she got 18 years old. You saw me say that. I didn't want her, and it had nothing to do with her game because she had a great game. It's the fact that I didn't want her getting blasted by the media. And guess what? She literally talked about her mental health by a year later, that the media was eating her alive. She talked about that a year later. I don't want any of these kids hurt. I don't want feelings getting away to make them hurt. This is where I'm at. Everybody's trying to protect feelings. They're trying to protect everything, keep facts out of the thing. I don't want them hurt. I don't want careers ended prematurely. This is where I'm at. And it's like, well, we're doing all of this. We're getting this fighting and everything like that. So it's like, that's all I'm bringing that in. Will I do an apology thing? No, because I'm not. The reason is not some kind of thing of hating toward them. Because I want the best for her. My main thing is I'm not going to do the Emmanuel Acho and the Jalen Rose thing of being a hostage. If I said it, if I'm wrong, find me because you will. But I wasn't wrong about Justin Fields for many different reasons. And how many people disappeared on that, Denzel?
Oh, whew,
yeah. It's like I'm not wrong on the thing. These are the things. It's like the problem about this is the fact that you're gonna all disappear with all this, and then you'll come back at me if I'm wrong. Okay. And it's like, come to me and tell me I'm right if I'm right.
All right. Now what I'm gonna do now is just simply read comments. Okay. But we will have to go to a station break in a moment.
I'm sorry, Scott. Hold on. Someone put that last comment back up real quick.
I think
it was from Quad
George. You have a beautiful house.
Man, that is an awesome house, man. Yeah. You know how he got that quad? By the push of a button.
Well, there you go, George.
Yeah.
You're moving up in the world. All right, let me get to these comments, okay? Because I will turn 62 by the end of this show is over with. Although maybe that's a little bit too quick. All right, I'm going to read the comments out loud, and then we'll see which ones y'all decide to comment on. I'll start with Jacob. There's a reason you have the damn camera on your face only. Okay, it's up there, of course.
Sweet.
All right, so there you go. Put on your happy face. Jacob is not a pundit. Okay, show us your. Keep going. Your what, Tommy? All right, there. Mad Mouth looking good tonight. All right, thank you very much. Okay, Jacob, didn't you see nobody took your side on X? Okay, no wonder why, because you are wrong. Well, saying, all right, okay. Candy must be protected at all costs. Don't worry, I'm working on that. Jacob, you are canceled. Okay?
Far from it. You can't cancel anybody that doesn't care.
Okay, let's see. Keep it going. Jacob, cool here. Let's see. That's about it, kiddo.
I get the hair, honestly.
Come on, punk. Okay, Scott, I love the way you love Candy. So beautiful. All right, good stuff. Got another Candy lover out here, of course.
All right, Candy hadn't even said a word and she's getting love, man. Look at that.
Look at that. I'm gonna tell you, but you won't get it. You guys are trying to find out what candy she likes, although she does like Skittles.
Oh no! Go back behind the camera. You didn't want to come on camera until someone started talking about you. Come on now, Aunt Candy.
That's funny.
All right, keep it rolling because you'll be doing a lot more talking in about a few seconds there. All right, I think it's terrible that he can't say he was wrong, and he's sorry. You definitely could have worded it better.
What? I'm going to say this for 10,000th time. I am not a hostage like those ones on ESPN. If there is a way where I'm going to be wrong later, I'm going to see Denzel and everybody here have seen this. Candy has seen it. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I say it. The thing about this, the biggest thing about it is the fact that I don't play the game of I'm sorry. Oh my God, oh dear. And then you're going to keep expecting it. And you're going to keep expecting it, and then you're going to step on, then it's like stepping on Legos all the time and stepping on eggshells all the time. People have absolutely positively have got to have the guts to say what they feel, take the backlash, and and everything like that. And if they're wrong, say you're wrong and go on. But saying sorry all the time, it makes no difference because no one believes you. They just want it for their feelings. That's what life is where we're at. People want the sorries for their feelings that, I'm so sorry. Oh, we forgive you. That's your own selfishness. I'm not going to step on eggshells in life. That's just the way it is.
All right. Well, here's the way it is with the next comment. Okay. I came in here to see what Jacob had to say. To gave him the benefit of the doubt. The man couldn't even apologize. I'm just putting it up there, Jacob.
Okay.
Remember, we have more show. Okay. You know that, right?
I know.
Okay. Bring it to the comments. The people have spoken. No problem. Hey, listen, you know what? I only planned, just so you know, folks, 20 minutes for this segment, but I'm not stupid. I've been in the business 40 years. If I feel that we have something that is rolling along well and everybody in this chat room deserves to provide their opinion, I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to worry about how long this show is, because mentally I had prepared for this show all week in my head, and that's what it is. All right, bro, these comments.
How long have I been on the show? 4 years.
Right. Well, how long have I been in the media? 44 years. Okay, there you go. That's and that's why you have.
Did you hear me want to apologize, Women's Warehouse? Did you hear me? Did you hear why? You're not hearing. You're going by outrage. Thank you very much, Steve.
Okay.
So remember, these comments were made almost half an hour ago because they've been constantly putting them in. We just haven't been reading them as quickly as they.
Well, because Jacob and all these people have the right to go out there and hear what they got to say. So, hey,
guess
listen.
What,
you know,
Women's Warehouse? I'd say about a couple of days ago, I said Caitlin Clark would beat me 21-0 on the court. Audi, the same. That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it at all. She'd whip me. So would Caitlin Clark. So would a lot of them. Because guess what? They are trained. They're constantly working. They are very good players. That's why they would whip me.
All right, let me go to a couple of other things here, Jacob, because God delays does not mean that God denies that we have a rest of the show to do.
I know.
And I learned that from Tommy Lasorda, folks. Okay, Quad Kyle. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have Jennifer. Let's have a little bit more fire in here in a few minutes. Bro, these comments are shown after you're don't taking. How long have you been on the show? You don't even know this. All right, let's just keep it rolling at this point. Okay, Jacob, you have great hair. I will say that. Okay, well, hey, listen, at least you're getting complimented on your hair, anyways. Okay?
Absolutely.
So I mean, hey, listen, when I got hammered by the Canadians, I wasn't getting complimented. I was going to get killed before George Eichhorn saved my life. All right, let's keep them rolling. Okay, I'm not going to read many more of them because I do need a voice a little bit later. Disingenuous, a man.
Hey, Kneecap, you're missing all the stuff.
Denzel, now Denzel's getting hammered. Okay, Denzel, you're dope as blank. Okay, censor this comment. Please feel to remove foul language. Denzel is a champ. Well, hey, now listen, Denzel, you got a fan in Joshua Door, but don't expect me to sing because my voice is bad. Okay, Denzel is a champ 100%. Size is 3 inches. Let's keep it going. Okay, I'll see if I talk as fast as they type. Okay, great seeing you. All right.
And they are rolling in.
Yeah.
What a way to go out, huh, Denzel?
I told you were definitely going to go. All right, Candy, you put them all up there faster than I can just put them up there. I need to save my voice a little bit. All right.
Exactly.
Okay, Jacob has pissed everyone off.
Probably this morning.
Hey, listen, you know what? At least you're getting compliments on your hair. So
I know.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
What does Taylor Swift mean? Jeremy, you are not smoking tonight. Oh, Josh, Jeremy, remember though, he's a friend of yours, so don't worry about what we think you're smoking.
Go back. I want to see what Josh said.
All right, where are we at? I don't know which one you want to see.
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you.
All right, smoking. All right, let's keep going. We got a lot of fans out here. I love it, man. This is good stuff. As Tony the Tiger would say with Frosted Flakes, great. Again, don't expect me to sing that though. Okay. Now the same old carrots. I've been smoking for 40 years. LOL. See, he's got a sense of humor. Jeremy will fit in really well with you guys, especially on Fire Up and any other shows that he's on. Professor and the people. When Jeremy's on, he's a different bird, but at least he came from my coaching tree that I trained him to do what he's got to do. All right, well, Candy, where are we going? I've lost track of you. Let me know when we get to the end, all right?
I'm getting to love this, Denzel. This is fun.
I know.
Man, we're looking at a 4-hour show with all these comments.
Oh, that's all right.
Hey, just so y'all know, I got to dive off here at some point. This might be a part two.
Well, that's all right. You let me know. If you want to just leave it with this topic tonight, we can bring the other three on next week.
We can go to the other ones. It's cool.
Yeah, Yeah, that's all right. Well, I'm just worried about Denzel's bedtime, even though he's an hour behind, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
All right, so
Hey, we can't be all like the ones in the state of Florida now.
yeah, tell me about it. All right, let's see where we at, Candy. Boy, you're going fast, Candy. I can't even read them. I guess that's the point. I'm not supposed to.
Exactly. At this point, I'm just trying to get them all up there so that we can quick get through it, so we can go on to the next segment of the show.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's see where we at. We near the bottom yet? Hey, Bradley, thanks a lot for time again, my friend. Appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a while, but I'm glad that we're in touch.
Hey, Jacob, man, with all of this feedback you're getting, are you sure you don't have a match this weekend at WrestleMania? Facing somebody in these comments?
Hey, Candy, why don't you let Jennifer and let her enjoy the fun too? You're not going to be on long, but Jen, you got to realize we have a topic where we're on fire, so you just got to have to lift it.
Hey, I saw that woman in Vegas. I saw that woman in Vegas.
I saw that man, and I made a very inappropriate personal joke in front of people.
That's all right.
Yay! I miss you, homie.
I miss you, Jen.
Wait, who's got the one that's heated? Wait a minute, Candy. There are some once in a while I do like to read.
Oh, I'm now the host. I like it. I'm taking back over.
Oh,
Hey,
I know.
Jen, for all the beatings I've taken tonight. Hey, Jen, for all the beatings I've taken tonight, I take off my hair.
Hey, Jen, I haven't been on a show with you forever. We got to make more of a habit out of this. Okay, that's woman's here.
Well,
all right, let's keep it rolling. Tell me when we get to the bottom. All right, the bottom.
Hey, Kyle said keep Jacob on the show.
Weed will always be on fire.
I have to ask Jacob this one question.
Sure.
All right. Andy may have done it for me. I don't know. But did you, Jacob, also bring up DJ Moore? I mean, DJ Burns from NCSU.
I did not bring him up.
Why?
I haven't. That's the thing. He's 6'7", about 270. I never brought him up. It just didn't come into my thing. I did not bring him up.
And you and I had this conversation off camera, and I'm sorry, but I just want everyone out there to realize there are literally chunky people who are in better health than fit people.
Okay. Yeah.
And just because you're chunky doesn't mean you're not fit.
Oh.
And that one, and but Jacob, I love you, and you and I have been through so much together.
Yeah.
One day you'll freaking listen to me, but hey.
But Jen, the main thing is Denzel and I watched wrestling all our lives. We know you can be chunky and athletic with Dusty Rhodes. We even watched it for our lives. But it's like, we know that you can be. It's like Audi Crooks had an amazing game. And we were talking about this thing. Well, I'm talking about, and I brought up Taylor Townsend for this thing whatsoever. I'm talking about the long term of everything. It's like, it doesn't mean you're not athletic. Oh my God, they can move around. Audi would kill me in a 21, murder me. So would Caitlin Clark, so would all of them. They'd kill me. And I'm not even saying that. My thing I am bringing up is I'm bringing up a long term. I just don't want them hurt. I want them to have a long career. That's the thing I was bringing with that is I want him to have a long career. I wanted Taylor Townsend to be number one because I love watching. Tennis is probably the game I know the most. I played it longest. And when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, I got Martina and Chrissy combined with the way they hit their shots, the way she does angles, the way everything. I wanted her number one. I wanted her grand slams. That's where my thing was. And it's the same with Audi. Audi was tremendous in that game, 40 points. I want to see her succeed. And it's like, we do get older.
The next game she was in, she had 38 points.
Yeah. I mean,
Chick is on fire.
Well, and good for her on that. You know what I'm saying? And great for her. It's like, I want her. Everybody that I talk about, I want them to succeed. I don't want them hurt. And it's like the whole thing with Taylor, it disappeared on me when the things happened. Then Taylor, she is 72 in the world now. She was up to about 200 in the world. She's about 72 after everything I've been talking about. She had a baby. Congratulations to her. And then she lost some of that weight and gained some muscle. And she's like 72 in the world now from 200. And I'm proud of her that she's able to. But those are the things I'm talking about. Nothing aesthetically.
All right,
Go ahead, Jen.
All right, so here, you know what, Candy, Jeremy wants to come on live. Send him an invite. These guys are gonna go crazy, but whatever.
I just did.
Oh, good. All right, Jen. I don't know if you mentioned this before, but in popular demand, Joshua Dorr wants to hear what you really have to say on this topic. And now, because he put it out there in question format, you're officially on record for now answering the question in the manner that he wants it.
Honestly, and I'll say this, this one hit me because Jacob and I have started this show. We've talked, like, he's corrected me, given me constructive criticism, vice versa, and we take it back and forth. When that tweet was sent to me, that hit me especially hard because I am a former athlete. I've always been chunky, and I can guarantee every single one of you. I can outswim every one of you right now, and I'm a lot bigger than I was when I was swimming. But I still know my body. I know what my body can do. That being said, was I ever Michael Phelps or Katie Ledecky? Was I going to be? Nope. But that's okay.
Maybe you would have been better.
Yeah, no. That was never going to happen, but that's okay. It was my passion. It was my freedom. And I didn't say this to you. The message that came across from that tweet was, if you're chunky, you can't participate in athletics. That is what came across.
I get it, but you know better than that.
And I know that's not your intent.
Yeah.
But that's when you need to think before you become a keyboard warrior. And that's a message to everybody, because Jacob, you're not the only person who's made an asshole comment. And y'all can bleep me out if you want. But that really affected me. Like that, I was like, damn, he doesn't understand what he just knocked me. He just knocked my co-hosts because we were all athletes. And Audi, she's a better athlete than all of us were.
She's a tremendous athlete.
And exactly. And here's the thing, like she's in a top 10 school. Mm-hmm. She's been playing AAU since she was 9?
Yeah.
She's had medical attention around her. She's had people feeding her, dietitians and
Jeremy, welcome.
Hey, Jeremy. And it's not our place, because then we're violating HIPAA, right? So,
which I deal with HIPAA all the time. I get it.
So, right.
Yeah.
So
no,
we have to be careful, and it's not a strength versus weakness thing. This chick isn't going out and just going to McDonald's and eating nuggets all day long. You know, she's not. She's not going to Chick-fil-A or Five Guys.
I know it hit hard. And Jen, I understand what you were saying, because you had told me when you'd seen the thing in the first place. I just want my mistake, and I brought this up early in that part, was not being clearer on where I was, because every bit of what I was being clearer was basically being frustrated at the being frustrated at everybody that wants to erase their own history for their own thing. That was my mistake on that. Okay, I will bring that. But my main thing about all of this is just the fact, and I know I am not saying ever that because of her weight, and you said you're all athletes. You are better athlete than me. Absolutely. Every one of you.
You can play better tennis than me. I have no hand-eye coordination.
Yeah. But the biggest thing I was bringing up is I want them to have long careers. Every one of them I talk about. I want them to have, like I said to Taylor, I wanted her to have a #1 in the world. I want them to be, and that's where my thing comes in. And I had a 2-day argument because I didn't get clearer early, which I'll say. But I had a big 2-day argument with everybody. I would even say that they're better athletes. I would say she had an amazing game. I would say she did everything. They wouldn't matter, because all they brought up, they thought a lot of these people were complaining to me about, they thought I was bringing up her aesthetic, which is nowhere close and not my style.
Okay, let me go back to the comment section really quickly. All right,
Wait. Before you do that, I'm gonna take Jen up on her, because Jacob, I'll take you on in tennis because I played tennis.
Good.
I can be the scorekeeper.
Good. Good. I'd love to.
Well,
No, I'd love to.
We finally got our main event.
There you go.
We'll play tennis in a cage.
All right, but I am going back to the chat room.
Okay, you can.
I am. So C is a fan of yours, Candy. Great show. Candy's leading. Yeah, she's doing a great job in the production side. She makes her opinions count. Jen, thank you for your honesty. And Blozo, I know this guy. He's a classic. Jacob is canceled at his final. Okay.
No, it's not.
Well, yet.
Thanks, C.
Well,
there you go. Jen, I love it. See, look at all these comments. I haven't seen this many, and never mind. Talk radio. Jen, should Jacob apologize?
Go back to that.
Jacob should only. No, I don't think Jacob should apologize. I think he should make clarifying statements. Jacob is not one that is ever going to apologize for something he doesn't. And I think you did wrong in how you verbalized what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're never going to back down from your viewpoint, which is why we started this show, right?
Absolutely.
That being said, you should probably apologize to Audi.
My thing about with
Jacob, hold on a minute. Jacob, time out. Okay.
Yeah.
Jennifer's saying something, and the one thing I'm going to say right now, and I've always believed it, is let her finish what she's going to say.
Sure.
You've been defending your position all night, and and obviously the numbers are going to bear that result at the end. Okay. So now somebody that you respect, me, her, Denzel, George, whatever, is trying to make a point. Jen, okay, since I'm the executive producer of this show, continue.
I do think you owe her an apology. Because honestly, what you put out there, it's hateful. It was very hateful. That's why I texted you on Easter weekend. And I didn't text you when I got the first text message, but I was ready to. And
see, I didn't even realize. I didn't even realize this was out on, like you were talking about this. I didn't realize it was out until I came back from my hometown, and then Scott told me about it. I'm like, oh my God, has it been that crazy? Because I was not much on.
I did notice you took it down, which is a good thing. So sorry.
Well, no, I do want Audie to know this. I wish her a 15, 20 year career. I want everybody to know this part. I mean, I wish every single, and I'll tell you, especially with women's athletics being at its best it's ever been, and you know this, Jen. Women's athletics has been it's better than it's ever been in the world. I am wishing because it is more popular than the men's sports right now. The numbers say it themselves. I wish you all, includes her, and I did not mean. I'll say this, Audie. I did not mean to ever look at it the aesthetic way. You are an amazing athlete. I wish you nothing but the very best. I want your health to be wonderful. I want you to be there, and that's where all my points have been. I don't want you hurt, and I don't want it to pop, and I don't want you to have major injuries, and that is my thing, because you are an amazing athlete. Your 40 points and then 38 points shows that you've got game.
Okay, well, let me tell you right now, this is the right year for a presidential election, and Jennifer's already got 3 votes from Blozo, Joshua, Thor, and Steve. So I'll tell you what, if you're gonna run, let me say this, Jen.
Hey, Jen,
if you're gonna run for president, wait a minute. I'm in charge here, not you. Okay, right now. Okay, so remember that I'm in charge. The Motor City Madmouth. I worked hard to trademark this name. I'm entitled to be louder than everybody. Okay, there we go. I got that off my chest. Okay, you got 3 votes for president, Jennifer. You need to go out there and you got support. Don't worry. These guys here, as much as they don't like Jacob very much, they'll make sure you win this election. Then again, considering I've never talked politics before, but considering that you have, you got a good chance. That's all I say. Now, Blozo is going to make Jacob cry. Well, don't hold your breath there, brother.
Oh,
okay. Put Jen on Rushmore with Audie. Well, okay, Jen. I'll tell you what, if that was the 3 Jens would be a 3 of a kind in poker, but you got 3 anyways, okay? And these guys are going to say, I'm going to reference your one-liners to the amount of Diet Mountain Dew that you had before you talk to some people or whatever. It is what it is. Now, Joshua Dore, I'll tell you, I wish that he was like Mike Tyson, because you know what? This guy is not afraid to bite your ear off, okay, with comments, just like he bit off Evander Holyfield's ear. But anyways, talk about the Men's Warehouse job. All right, McDonald's. All right. And by the way, guys, after we get done with these comments, we are going to a station break. So get them up there. I'm about done reading them, because I do have a book out there. And if you got anybody wants to get in at this book, this show is going to definitely be able to make the next. And I'll tell you what, Jacob, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to put your tweet in there as well, because I feel it's a lesson that people have to know what not to say or what not. So you're going to go out there and make a name for the most interesting reason on the planet. All right. Okay. Night ship, Captain Scott. You bet I'm the captain. I'm not Captain Kirk. I don't live 90 years. I'll be lucky to live another 90 minutes. All right, whatever. 90 days. Yeah, everyone salute. All right. All right. With that said, yeah, 90 minutes or whatever.
We got to hear from Jeremy.
She doesn't have time for you to have a heart attack tonight, okay?
All right, no problem.
Just saying that.
That's all right. All right.
We'll just put Diet Mountain Dew in his IV. He'll be just fine.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what they do. That's the ticket. All right. And it looks like they're having a funeral in Canada. 6-0 Florida Panthers for those people out there. Kenny's been unbelievable skill to summarize the chat. Don't worry. Now we got Smoking Jeremy. No, I'll tell you what, folks. What's coming after Smoking Jeremy, just so everybody knows, okay, Candy will be taking over for like 30 to 45 seconds. We got some other topics we're going to get to. All right, Smoking Jeremy. And guess what? Okay, you're going to go ahead and stay on the rest of the show so you don't have to wonder when it ends.
All right. I am going to give 2 comments on this, and it's opinionated comments, and they come from my dad. And the first thing is, it's better to be thought a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. And the second one is, we all have the right to express our opinions. Unfortunately, most of them smell like our posterior, so they stink.
Right.
And when they come off and you're talking about something that comes across as aesthetics, the only person that anybody should be body shaming is themselves. And I said it before, round is a shape. I'm in shape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's it. You know, at one time I took the scales at 380 pounds. That was 8 years ago. I'm 5'11" and 230. I went from a 54-inch waist to a 38. And all I did was cut out McDonald's. That's it.
Congratulations.
All I cut out of my life.
Holy crap. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
And by the way, Joshua Dore, since I do have a great memory, there will be more topics. I gave this a lot more time, but there comes a point when you feel you have something rolling, you want to get it out there so that way everybody can understand that everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think I've been fair to everybody in the chat room, but we do have other topics that are definitely newsworthy that we're going to get to. So Joshua, if you want to hang around, great. If you don't, I guarantee you one thing, my friend. Okay, you've got your money's worth tonight, pal. So anything else, then again, everybody gets their money's worth on a show like this. And I've seen them all in 44 years in this business. So, yeah, this is a nice show compared to some of the ones I've been on through the years. Right, George?
Yep. Yeah, sure is.
Anybody knows what we've been through, we just leave it at that, right, George?
We used to work with a guy that always thought he was right, okay? And yes, he got fired a couple times for saying the wrong thing. I'm not going to say his name because he's no longer with us, but trust me, I've seen it firsthand, and so has Scott. When a guy, and Jacob, I am not comparing you to him. Please don't take this the wrong way. But there are times when guys like that, or ladies, you don't have to pay the consequences, unfortunately. What Scott said earlier about Jimmy the Greek and Tom Brookshire, and the list is a mile long.
Yeah. AC, I have a little bit of piece of advice for you. You ready for this? Okay. I want you to remember the acronym GMTA. Okay. And I'll tell you why I want you to do that, because of this comment. Okay. This one. All right. Sure, you've been fair, Scott, but still think Candy is the star tonight. You know, so here's what I'm going to say to that. See, and I'm putting it on record, everybody. Great minds think alike. See, you will be quizzed on it when the next time you come here. So write it down. Great minds think alike. Everybody in my program knows great minds think alike. Can I get any louder than that? I don't know. Will I get any sleep like that? I don't know. But I'll tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to
Yeah.
Candy right now and give my voice a break and do what you got to do for 30 to 40 seconds until we put Denzel on there. Go on, Candy, take over since you are the star tonight. And with me, you're the star 365 days a year anyway. So it's okay.
Oh, look at that, Denzel.
Look at that. All right,
Nice.
keep it going. Where can I get a motor? It should be Motor City, pal. I don't have a motorcycle. My days of riding a motorcycle ended many years ago, as well as skiing. But I won't get into that story. Okay,
Station identification break. Hold on. If you see that red subscribe button, hit that red subscribe button, subscribe, like, share us, subscribe to all the people that we have on our panel and their stations as well. If you like to listen to podcasts, go out, listen to us on iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. If you like to email us because you have show ideas, maybe you have a debate show that you want us to have on that's going to have all kinds of comments like this, email us, southfloridatribune@gmail.com. Go to our website, www.southfloridatribune.com. Scott wrote this book, Lessons from the Microphone, Tuning into the Enduring Wisdom of Visionary Leaders. It talks about his over 40 plus years in the business. Talks all about it. It's a great book, great read. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kindle. Okay, back to you, Scott.
I see. You said great show. Okay, all right. Let's go to Quad, the Ball Buster show. I'll tell you what. Here's the thing, Quad. All right. I like this for one, but here's the thing. Okay, Mr. Joshua Dorr here, or whatever he wants to call him. Okay, here's the deal. I'll create the Ball Buster shows because I have enough of them out here tonight. That's for sure. Okay, but Joshua Dorr has to prove to me that he is not the Florida Fried Chicken. Okay, and that he's not afraid of the camera. If you're afraid of the camera, no Ball Buster show. If you got the guts to face us, you got a puncher's chance. All right, Josh. Okay, I love talking to you on FaceTime, my brother, because it's entertaining with all of my peeps out there. But Josh, I'm making a deal. And for all you people that may or may not know Monty Hall, okay, I'm making a deal. The Motor City Man Mother making a deal. You want the Ball Busters show? I need all my guys in this chat room, from Blake all the way to Joshua Dorr and everybody, get in front of the camera and deal with us. I'm challenging you guys.
Can I give a thank you and a thumbs up to everybody in the chat room tonight? They are the star of this show.
Yeah.
They are the star of the show tonight. And it's like, and you means you're watching. Whether you agree with me or not, and there's a lot that don't, you're watching, you've given this thing, and it's like you're giving this show there. And, you know, this show is about these type of topics. Is what I started. Jen and I started this 4 years ago, right, Jen?
Yeah.
We started this for topics. Some agree, some not. Thank you very much.
Well, you got a compliment for a change.
No, we started it for this, and we wanted this type of audience for ages, and we got it tonight. So thank you very much.
Look at this. I can't believe I'm seeing this. Am I Ray Charles? Am I blind? Really? Put the quad one up here above. Really?
I mean, people want to keep Jacob.
We need to keep Jacob. He has controversy. I mean, look at this. This show's booming. I'll tell you what, Jacob, how's that? Now that would, if I know you, that would make you cry than all this other stuff we put up there. All right, well, while you're on a roll with this guy, why don't you let everybody know what's really going on here, okay, about after tonight. I think, and then we'll hit the other three topics. Okay.
Oh, Joshua Dorr with the little shout out. Taking it like a champ,
Jacob. Look at this. They're all coming out here. I love it. There goes the pen.
Wanted to say this part because I'm glad all of you are here. I know Jeremy, everybody, Jen, all this right here. This is my last show. This is my last show on this. This is my last show. I've been 4 years on Sideline Sports and South Florida Tribune. I am moving on to other things. And Jen, you know I love you to death.
I love you too, Jacob.
You know, and it's like very much. Yeah, and it's like it will leave it to my last show to get this kind of craziness. And leave it to my last one to get it. And it's like I've been waiting for this, and it's like, but the thing is, this show is going over to Scott now. And it is going over to Scott, and he's going to do it so much justice because he loves the idea that we had, that Jen and I started. He loves the idea. It's the idea of topics like this. It is like 60 Minutes, like he said. You know, it is. He's going to do it justice where he's going to be digging around for topics like crazy because this is the world that we have. And I appreciate everybody giving me all of this tonight. I really do. What's next for me? Figuring the thing out. I do have writing and acting. I've got a lot of experience with acting and writing, so I could be doing something like that again. Could build on that. I could be getting licenses. You know, I might be drawing up coaching. I might be coaching again because I've done that before, you know. Thank you for everybody on this.
Now look at these comments. You know, this almost looks like This looks like Rocky 4. All of a sudden, they hated Rocky for the whole darn thing. Then they started liking him. This reminds me of that. Here, you know what, though? I got to put this up. Hang on for a second here. All right. Here's the thing. All right. What do we got?
I don't know why people love your hair so much, Jacob, because I kind of want to give it a trim.
All right, so here, Joshua Door's got a great one here. Okay, ball busts must calm down. I don't calm down for nothing. You know better than that with all. Okay, now hold on a minute. I got to see if I can find this thing. As the Costco guys say, boom. All right. Oh, do they really? I don't even know that. Okay, let's keep going. I'm trying to go ahead. Joshua Door doesn't think you belong on this show. He just thinks that you should be on Ballbusters instead. So there you go. So if your future opportunities don't pan out, Joshua Door, once he is able to develop enough guts to get in front of the camera, will be more than happy to share a screen with you on Ballbusters and not Pundits if you turn it over to me. That's all I have to say. Anybody else? Go ahead. Oh, see, look at this now. Oh, now all of a sudden we got Rocky 4. Maybe I should hashtag this thing here, Rocky 4, and all the people we put on there. I'm going to do a quick prayer. I hope and all the best for Jacob in future endeavors. I've never seen a chat room turn around like this. This isn't 180. This is 360, right, Denzel? Go ahead,
Jeremy, I'm thanking you for seeing it tonight, Jeremy. I mean, seriously. Yeah, I appreciate you being on.
I heard it, what it is, and I just wanted to say what I felt about it, because I know you didn't mean it the way it was taken.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you were trying to say. It just came across wrong the way you said it. And if you think about that, that's the only thing that you do need to apologize for, is what it looked like. It's not the message you were trying to send, but it's the message that everybody received.
Yeah.
You understand?
I'll say this. I'll apologize for that part, no question, all the time. Because the main thing, I will do that because everything that I've had the arguments with, and I say it to Jen, I say it with all that, all the thing is the fact that I want when I get mad at the people and get all that stuff, it is the fact that I absolutely do want the best for all these athletes. I want them to succeed, you know, and it's what all that, and it's like, I've been doing this a long time with every type, you know, I mean, with every athlete and everything. I've never gone aesthetic before on that. I will never do it based off of that. That's, to me, when I see it on Twitter and I see it on social media, it's Neanderthal and it's like 12 IQ. I will never do it based off that. It's like, I just don't. These are the things that we talked about tonight. And I'll say this, Jen. I hope people that surround me, I hope in 4 years, they surround me with craziness as she breaks all the Iowa State records and she stays healthy.
Yeah, me too.
I hope so.
Jacob, let me say one thing. Whatever setback is a setup for something so much better than you can imagine. That has literally gotten me through the roughest times in my life. I'll leave it at that. You know I love you. You know I'm going to have to come to Atlanta to kick your ass.
Mm-hmm. Is this the only way I get a hot girl to hit on me?
Huh? What? You're going to get a hot girl to hit on you.
Here, look at this here. Blozo says,
Not how you want it to happen, but yes.
So here, now we got back to the chat room. We're getting a lot more love than I ever thought I'd see on this show or any show. I think this is the best show in the history of South Florida Tribune. Thank you very much. All right, now we have an offer. Oh, goodness, Jacob, you're leaving it away like nobody ever has. Definitely will get an offer. I want to keep that up from Barstool Sports. Okay? I'll tell you what, if you get me an offer from Barstool Sports, we need to have a face-to-face conversation. And
you get that from Barstool Sports. I'll be back. That's the whole
I wouldn't doubt. There you go. I put this thing up, and now we know what it takes to get Chris Brown. Yeah, but here's the deal. When you come back, I'm in charge because you.
I know. I gave it to you.
I know. I'm in charge. Okay, now. All right, here, Kyle here. Let's see what we got. Oh, no, a little bit more love. I'm sorry if the message was interpreted the wrong way. I'm so sorry. Oh, whatever. I better keep that mountain down on me for tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen because I got an Inter Miami game on Saturday. My goodness. All right. I'll be worse at the soccer game. Nothing will shut me up that day. I got too much work to do. I got a lot of mental labor involved that day.
Can I say something with Women's Warehouse? Women's Warehouse, I want you to understand something. We didn't have a lot of women growing up in our life. Like we had a half sister that I've gotten. We've had a few of the others, but the ones that we've had, I've grown up and I'm going to say it in this term, the biggest badasses that I've ever known. And Jen knows who I'm talking about. Like my sister and all of them. It's like I have nothing but the utmost respect. And the biggest thing is when I bring up these points, I bring it in the fact that I'm never going to say women can't do the things you might hear me say as far as thank you very much. What you might hear me say is like for instance, like the woman, like a trained woman, and as far as like in a fight or whatever, or any kind of the athlete, if there's a man and a woman, the body structures are different. And Jen's heard me say this 4,500 times, those types. But I'm never going to say a woman can't be an athlete or can't do things. I'll never say that. I've grown up with somebody from the 40s that became the first woman beer distributor. And a newspaper editor and all that kind of stuff like that in time they should not have. So I know women can do things. And by the way, go ahead, Jeremy.
No, I was waving by because Jen said she had to go.
Oh, I see.
All right,
but I was like, but that's my thing. I've seen women do the greatest things. Understand when I say it, I do it at the best of the thing. And if it was interpreted that way, yeah, I absolutely will do the apology for that. But don't ever think that I don't have respect for women. Because I've grown with the best and the toughest of them.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make one statement that I think is vitally necessary. We have three great topics that we're not going to get to. And to be fair to Jacob in his final show, I'm going to make a decision right now that the three topics that we had scheduled for this week will carry over into next Friday's edition of Pundits Pundit. I feel in my mind, it is absolutely and without question that the real star of this show tonight is Jacob Christner. He's the man that created the show. I know at the beginning there was a great deal of frustration in the manner, Jacob, for how you express yourself. But, you handled every single comment with class. And when you can own up to at least handling it with class and giving these great people an opportunity to speak their mind, that what you've enabled them to do is you've enabled them to vent a little bit about something they didn't like, but you did it in a fair manner, professional way. You did. I think. Oh, Scott, what do you got? LeBron has more meat than LeBron ever bought. Yeah. The worst part about LeBron though, we're both Capricorns. He's born like a day or two away from. I think he's December 30th. I'm December 29th. So he's a Cap right at the end of the year. We work hard at the end of the year for our birthday. So when we get them, we really earn them. So, but with all due respect, I think what we need to do tonight is I feel it's necessary now that the show has been handed to me tonight. Okay. Don't forget it. Of course, with my loud voice, nobody ever does. Anyway, we're letting Jacob go out on top tonight. This is a one-topic show tonight. Yeah. The next three that we have will be three, and then we'll go back to the three, and then the Pundits Point version, Denzel, okay, for next week. So guess what? You don't have to do any work. It's already done.
Woo!
Wait on top, bang!
Thank you all.
Best show ever.
Yeah,
thank you, and Jen, thank you for helping me.
I'm a little butthurt. You got the best show ever, Scott. What the hell, Jacob? Could you do this when it was you and I or Jay?
No kidding. No kidding. Jen,
What the hell?
I thank you for helping me start this, though, because remember how I was the last person with sideline to start a show. You helped me with this.
I
Well,
love
look
you.
at all the love
And
now.
I always
This is
get your
fun.
back.
For the few
No, if
minutes
you
we
just
got
shut up and
left.
listen up, we'll be a lot further
No,
along.
hey, Joshua Dora, you're really putting me on the spot. You know what? Since we don't have a lot of time, and I will never hear the end of it if I don't. Okay, well, we'll give Joshua Dora a little bit because now he's got you on his ball busters, whatever you call this thing. Okay, thoughts on trans athletes? Oh my God, I'm afraid what's going to happen there. I'm going to get blown
No,
out.
we're not going to go there.
We don't need to go there.
All right, well, that's okay. At least you said it, so I don't have to say you didn't get my question up there. I did. Okay, we'll leave it alone.
Exactly,
Okay.
Blozo.
Huh?
Blozo said that we've come full circle.
Yep.
There
Literally.
you go.
That is literally what happened tonight. Like, everyone's all shaking hands and hugging in the comments, or wanting to with Jacob anyway. And
AD Low.
they were firing at him earlier.
I was getting DMs like, somebody's got to go defend Jacob. Like, are you going to bounce on? I was like, I'm going to come on the show, but I'm not going to defend him.
A proposal. Look at that, Jacob.
Hey, listen. Now, I got to say this. Let me tell you something. If this ever happened, there's only two places it can happen: Key West and San Francisco. Now I probably lost my audience in both places. Whatever. I'm not worried about that. But you don't know what will probably hurt anyway. So, but meanwhile, listen, I have to admit, of all the shows that I've been involved with on the South Florida Tribune Broadcasting Network, and I'm going to tell you right now, this show here, Setting the Record Straight, will appear in my next book, and that being Lessons from the Microphone Part 2. And I understand what nonverbal communication is, Denzel, so tell me what's on your mind.
Undoubtedly the best show that had since I'd been a part of the South Florida Tribune. And I mean, everyone in the comments, just rocking and rolling. And this is the type of love that we all need to help grow the brand and everything. And also I had a small idea, that, and I was going to wait until afterwards, but you know what? I'll just put it out to the panel and to the comments right now. Maybe, just maybe, one of these days we can do an open show, right? Where if someone wants to come on and discuss a topic and you get 10 minutes of time, we'll shoot you the link and bring you on. It'll be like live call-in radio, which I'm sure you've done, Scott. And I'm sure you've done, George, and it could be one of those things where it's just an open show. Y'all can come on for 10 minutes and discuss what you want to discuss. We'll shoot you the link. You got a laptop, you got a phone or whatever, and you come on and boom.
So now that you have talked about it to the executive committee, that idea is accepted. But I'll tell you, Woman's Warehouse definitely knows one thing about the risen part. Instead of Jesus is risen, isn't that what they do for all the Easter stuff? Jacob is risen. Okay, there you go. That shows you what my it just goes to show you what my expertise is.
I'm going to do a shameless plug. Women's Warehouse. You need to check out mine and Candy's other shows. Chicks and Salsa. I'm just saying.
The three chicks also.
Well, three chicks in a pot and chicks and salsa. You guys, you put her on every show in the first place. Check them both out. So what? Let George speak. All right, George. I've never seen a person more patient to deal with a show like this. So George Eichhorn, by popular demand, we have an uncle in the furniture business.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead, speak.
All right. Well, Jacob, it's been a great run. Thank you so much for doing everything you did on this show, buddy. You've made us at the top of the hit charts, man.
George, you and Scott have been absolute, and I can say this, I've learned a lot from you. And I appreciate, and I did, and Scott, I appreciate you having on this place. You have no idea. And I love you all. I really do. And it's this is just, I really do. And it's one of these things where it's I expected just another show, and this is going to be, and I'm this is overwhelming. It really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I could definitely say that too. And at least I don't have to do a show afterwards because Candy gets it with Jeremy and George, and then they bring on Ralph Williams. That'll be the coolest team I've ever seen.
I almost feel we needed to add 2 more people so we could be the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, we really could.
Hey, and I'm Alice.
Hey, look at Steve. So let's put this out there. Steve, I want this comment up now, okay? That's an order, sir. No, I'm just kidding. That's what Eichhorn would say to me many years ago. Okay. Jacob has the coolest hair.
Love you too, Steve. Thank you.
Jacob has the coolest hair to deal with criticism. At least you got it. Okay, yeah. Hey, listen, it's all about a woman's warehouse. How many?
Oh, I know.
A woman's warehouse. Let me ask you a question. How many employees you got over there? Because if you have a lot of them, make sure they all subscribe to this channel. I'm telling you, we'll provide you with a few perks. I don't have any women's clothes to sell you, but I can give them to you over at the Goodwill store and give them to you. Then you can sell them for whatever you want. No, that's not the intended purpose. Just kidding. Okay, don't take that one seriously. Otherwise,
I'm getting the YouTube link right now to send to Candy.
All right, this is how we roll. Josh and the guys, all the ball busters. That's what you've been saying on FaceTime. I'm Amish, okay, and I'm a lot of things, but I can't mention a lot of them on the air. Otherwise, I'll get crucified by somebody out there. I know that. Okay.
See, Scott, hold on. See, I will tell you, if you love Jen and I, then you should check our shows out. It's Tuesday night, 7:30. Chicks and Salsa or 3 Chicks in a Pod. That's where you can find us, and we'll put a link up.
There we go.
And I can say this: it's awesome, awesome, awesome to watch.
Okay, a couple more things before we. All right, one last thing here. We got to go. All right, after we go off the air, I got to. Okay, there you go. So that concludes. All right, go ahead. I got to get this comment on. I don't miss any. Tuesday at 7:30. Is that what it is, Candy? That you guys are on? Yes. I think 7:30 Eastern time. So see, there you go. Now you can see Jennifer and Candy and Megan Price, and you also have Carrie Johnson as well. So
we got our Cowboys, we got our Packers.
Yeah, in the eyes of Jimmy Walker of Good Times, because there might be a few people old enough to remember, they are dynamite. Well, there you go. I don't want to get too high there. Okay. Although I think it went too far. What a show, Jacob. I'll tell you, man. Like I say, when we talk about going out on top, we are definitely doing that. So, Jen, what I want you to do, Candy, is this before we call it a night. Once more, the book one more time, station break, and then we're going to let everybody know how they can get a hold of you. All right? Thanks, Steve. Appreciate everybody. But now, look, I put a lot of work into this.
Scott, seriously, everybody at the show has a copy of your book except for me. You know what? I'm done. I'm gonna go cry and eat worms. Whatever.
You're getting it. Oh, wait a minute, Jennifer. You're getting
I got one too.
You got to put yours up because Denzel's putting his up at the same time.
Don't worry, Jennifer. I'll see you at the end of.
Tuning into the enduring wisdom of visionary leaders.
Okay.
Scott wrote it. Amazon, Barnes and Noble. Oh, there's. Smoking Jeremy B's got George's book up too. Look at that. Amazon, Kindle, and Barnes and Noble for Scott's book.
I'm a well-read
Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer, you're getting your copy late June, July. So, and you know what you get to do? Not only will I give you the copy and sign it for you, you and I are taking a picture together. How's that sound? With it in your hands.
All right? I don't know.
Oh, yes, that's a condition. But that's all right. We'll figure it out.
We will take a picture. We'll take more than one.
We got to take a picture. I'm telling you, the Motor City Madmouth and one of the stars of your shows, those are classic. All right, I'm holding mine up too. Yeah, Joshua bought one too. So he got one. And all his guys are going to get
yours too. Oh, hey.
Look at this guy. Look at all these guys. They're the best. Okay. So, Katie, did you get out there? I probably lost half of it because I multitasking in me really is a bit of a challenge here for me looking at all this stuff.
Just a bit.
Well, go ahead. Take over and do it again.
You know, they're all on that side of me.
Yeah, we have an audio replay presented by Candy.
Lessons from the microphone, tuning into the enduring wisdom of visionary leaders. Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Kindle. If you want to hit that red subscribe button in the lower right, click it, like us, share us. Obviously, come in and chat because you can chat with a lot of people. We enjoyed all the comments tonight, and we appreciate all of the comments. But we have more than just Thursday night Pundits Pundit. We have Monday night baseball, Tuesday night football, Wednesday night Sports Exchange, and Scott's Motor City Madmouth show where he interviews one person. You never know who might be next up. And then Thursday night is Pundits Pundit, and normally Fire Up is on at 9:00. We will be having some changes in the programming on Thursday nights, so stay tuned and watch for a future announcements.
Mhm.
But you can also catch all of our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to sponsor a show or advertise, call Scott 954-304-4941. Show ideas. SouthFloridaTribune@gmail.com. Go check out our website, www.southfloridatribune.com, where you'll see pictures that I've taken, sports photography. George is written, and so is Smoking Jeremy B. So both of these people. Scott's written. Jacob's written. I gotta get Denzel to write. Come on, Denzel. What you waiting for?
Hey,
I wrote 2 articles.
it's
Dan's
coming
waiting for-
soon.
As the saying goes, he's waiting for Christmas.
I got my good pen finally. So let me get my wheels turning, and then I'm gonna have something to you.
All
should
right.
So here,
About those Texans of yours this year.
Oh,
All right,
you know
so
what?
you
I
know
definitely
what?
will write about them.
I'm getting a pretty good request here that I have to go out there. So here it is, Jeremy. I want you to give a final salute. And not only that, you're going to do it to everybody in the chat room. You're doing it to Mr. Christner.
There it is.
I
There
want
you
to
go.
thank you. I have learned from you as well. And I don't mean about this topic. And I mean from watching you while you've been with the South Florida Tribune and Sideline Sports, listening to you speak, way back with Basket Bros. I know you saw me in the comments there back when I was first hanging out with Dom before I even met Scott.
Yep.
So I've been here talking to you guys for almost 2 years on Sideline. This is my second year with the Motor City Mad Mouth. And you know what? I couldn't be happier. And I am a better person knowing all of you. And that is why I say what I say at the end of every single show that I'm a lead or a co-host of. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. It's the only way to make the world a better place, because that is a real message. I mean every word of it. I have been living that for the last 8 years of my life since my heart attack. Much love to everybody in the chat. D-Lo, C, Blozo, Quad Kyle, Joshua Door, all you, Women's Warehouse. You guys are great. Thank you for watching.
All right.
And
Well,
Jeremy, you're
I
a good man. I'm telling
I've
you.
got another request here from. All right. So George Candy and Denzel, you got to do a salute too, because that's what the people want. All right. Go ahead.
Aye,
There we
aye,
go.
sir. Captain Morganroth.
And I'll do it there. All right. Way downtown. Bang. I go a little bit louder. I've been saluting you people.
Sergeant Christner.
I've been saluting you people all show, because I initially figured at 20 minutes. I didn't expect it to go this long, but you know what? It's one of the best shows I've ever had. And you know what? This isn't as long compared to what George Eichhorn and I used to do. We had a 6-hour show back in the day. We're getting off easy, right, George?
6 hours. Yes,
6
sir.
hours. Can you believe it? This is a walk in the park, really. I'm
Yes, it
telling
is.
you. It's getting
Oh,
off easy. All right. Well, with that said, now that the salutes are out of the way, everybody has an opportunity to go ahead and let everybody know how you get hold of it. All right. You know what? We're going to start with you, Jeremy. Go ahead.
Well, I'm here on the South Florida Tribune. This is my first time on the Pundit. I hope it's not my last. I hope that I may be needed in a spot here or there somewhere, because I do have some takes on some of these subjects they've talked about. Usually I just put them in the chat and get a few laughs, but I'd rather give an actual intellectual response than just the funny response I do in the chat. Because that's how I got on Scott's good side to begin with, is being funny in the chat. That being said, you can find me on Inside the Pigskin. You can find me on the Fire Up shows, eventually on The Professor and the Pupil, and possibly someday here, who knows? We don't know when it'll be. You can also find me on my channel, which is Kneecap Biting with the Motor City Lions, where I do 8 shows a week with one show about the NFL in general. So I don't just cover the Lions every day of the week, but almost.
All right. Well, Jeremy, I'll tell you what it's going to take to get on Pundit. What you need to do right now is give me your resume, and I'll see if you're qualified to do it. But the one thing but there's an old saying in life here: not only what you know, but who you know. All right, Jen, let everybody know how they get hold of you. I know you got to roll because you're hungry. Go ahead.
I'm hungry. I'm not gonna lie. You can find me on 3 Chicks in a Pod and Chicks and Salsa with my girl Candy and my other girls, Megan and Carrie. We are on Tuesday nights at 7:30 and I have some other shows in mind too, but you can also find me on Reddit at Jenna Show. You can find me on Twitter at Jenna Show, the professional fan, as well as Facebook. If any of you guys follow anybody here, I'm friends with everybody. So just hit them up and you can find me on Facebook.
There you go. Great, Jen. Glad to have you on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to be on the same show with you. It's been a while, but let's not make it too long the next time. All right, Jennifer?
Thanks,
all
Jen,
right?
for starting the show with Jacob.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anytime. Thank you for coming on.
I got you, babe.
All right, thanks.
Okay,
enjoy your dinner.
I gotta go feed my belly and my hubby very soon.
All right, there you go. Enjoy your dinner.
Enjoy that food.
As I say to Jen and Candy when they are on their show, they are my clots, and it's an acronym. It means the gorgeous ladies of podcasting, just like the gorgeous ladies
I love that.
wrestling. I like that.
That's the name of our next pod. Okay?
The glop.
Hey, Blozo, your point is very well taken. I get it. Okay, there you go. All right, Jen, go get dinner. Denzel, you're next. I know you're probably you're gonna have to get going soon. We'll talk at a later. We'll talk probably later on this weekend. Go on, Jen. Thanks, Jen. God bless.
Candy, I put our YouTube link in the private chat.
Yep, I put it in the chat already, and so did Jeremy.
Okay.
So
cool.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Right.
Love you
Good night,
guys.
Jen. Thanks for being on.
Yeah, Jen.
All right, Denzel, go ahead.
All right. Once again, thank you to everybody in the chat who saw this episode and commented and interacted. It was great. And for more material such as this, you can follow me on Twitch. It's right there, Denzel Sniper 13. Also, you can follow me on YouTube, Denzel Snipes 13. Also, follow James Tatum 12 on his YouTube because we air the Gauntlet, the NFL centric show, every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've got Top Rope Talk, pro wrestling show on Sideline Sports. Next week's episode will be the WrestleMania recap episode. That is going to be at 6 so it'll be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, I'm right here on the Punters as well on Thursdays. Also, the Sideline Sports Show Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So follow Sideline Sports. Yes, I do play Call of Duty, and let's see, NELLI ONETRE on PlayStation Network. All right. Hey, everybody, Jacob, salute, baby. You already know what we've been through. You already know what we did. And everybody on the panel, thanks a lot. This is an awesome show.
We'll keep in touch. You know that.
Uncle Scott, Uncle George, hey, we catching big fish in the future. You know this.
All right, well, Jeremy, I guess you don't have to send your resume. You'll be on next Thursday's edition of Pundit. But the only change will be it will be at 7:30 Eastern Time, just so you know. They are moving the time.
Get here as fast as I can.
Well, that's fine. You'll just come in here. You'll get the link will be sent to you, and you will be in when you get in. But that's the new starting time. You're getting next Thursday here. All righty.
No problem.
All right, Denzel. Good night, and you and I will be in touch. Okay, buddy. Have a great night.
No doubt.
All right.
Thank you, Denzel.
There you go. Salute you. There you go. I haven't done this many salutes in a lifetime. All right. Well, that leaves a few of us left. So with that said. Okay, George, let everybody know how they get a hold of you.
You can follow me on the South Florida Tribune website. I write under the Motor City Tribune banner. And you can, at the end of my column, there's a link to Detroit Sports Broadcasters on the Air, my one and only book so far in my lifetime, but it was a fun book to write and read. And you can follow me at SNG Sports 99 on Twitter. Or you can get a hold of me, gicorn@yahoo.com or on LinkedIn as well. So looking forward to, I'm on Facebook too, under my name. Looking forward to more shows. 108 Stitches on Monday nights was mentioned. And then, of course, Fire Up and all these great shows. Sports Exchange and Pundits Pundit. Just a great place to be. Thank you. And again, thank you, Jacob, for all you've done. And
thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so look at that, Jeremy. Joshua Dore wants to know, do you have an iPhone?
I already responded in the chat.
Good boy. All right, well, good. I probably didn't see the last one.
So wait, Scott, before you go into it, one of the questions that Women's Warehouse says, have you guys all met in person before? And I will answer that. No, we have not met everybody. But Scott and I have met.
I think you two have met a little bit.
4 of us have.
Yes.
Well,
4 of us, but we're working on that.
yeah, we're working on it. All it
Yep.
takes is a trip I-75 and 77. We'll get it all figured out. So but meanwhile, what a
Thank
show.
you guys for everything.
Thank
yeah,
you.
all right, Jacob. I'll tell you what, Jacob. I want you to give your final thoughts as we close it up. Bear in mind, immediately after Pundits Pundit, for all you guys in the chat room, if you want to stay up a little bit past your bedtime, Fire Up will offer you an awful lot of freedom with Jeremy and Candy. And, you know, I really like to call it the Country Club Show, and you'll see why when you tune in. With me, you get what you get. A graspy voice with 44 years worth of wear and tear and a body that's 90 years old. And give me enough Diet Mountain Dew, and who knows what it is anyways. And Icorn's been around for a long time.
Yes.
All right. So
Long,
go ahead,
long time.
Jeremy. The floor is yours.
You mean Jacob?
That's right, Jacob. I am
Jeremy
the
had
Little more
his
hair.
say.
Little more hair. All right. The Pundits Pundit started 4 years ago. One, it's my idea, and it was like, thanks to Jen for helping me with this. I was the last show to go on sideline. The whole idea of the Pundits Pundit is what we did tonight, and we've done other times before. Conversation. It's conversation. It is getting, you know, even if it's controversial, even if it's everything. Folks, we're online all the time. Everybody's hating each other. We need to start debating. We need to start talking. That's what we need to do more of. It's not, though, when I bring up the lack of apology, it's not a mean, nasty deal. It's the fact that I want to be able to talk the way we talk tonight. And I want everybody to understand. Jeremy understands that. Scott understands. George, Candy, they all understand that. We need to start talking and debating each other and getting to the idea. Not the whole idea of apology and let's get it over with and all that kind of stuff. And, oh, we're going to make you scared but you know, all that. When we do all that, when we're doing all that, we are not doing our thing. We're not talking. We're just making people mad. We're just doing outrage. We don't need to do that. If we're going to get our country back, ourselves back, our human nature back, the first step has got to be talking to one another. We used years ago, and this, I'm not a politics thing on this tonight, I'm just saying this. At one time, I can say this, Eisenhower started NASA, Kennedy started the space race, and Nixon finished it. We used to work together. We need to do that again by talking, however we need to do. And thank you for everybody for watching tonight. And I hope you all continue to watch this as I'm gone. And I'm going to be paying attention and doing it. I hope it continues. And all these conversations with all these great topics. Because it is the changed world now.
Okay, Joshua, let me answer your question on that one. In the 4 years on air, has any show been to this level? To answer your question objectively, okay, I've done some great one-on-one interviews with a lot of influential people that have gone 90 minutes to 2 hours that were actually great as well. Now, have I ever done a show which has been this emotional where the emotions turn from hostile to a more positive vibration as time went on? I would say right now, no. This is where this show stood out. But the only reason it ended up that way is, for me, all you guys in there. Now, as far as Pundit, I don't know. I've only been on it with Jacob like 2 years. I've never seen anything like this before. But as far as, so no, I don't think it's ever been like this. Again, though, we also knew that sometimes your shows are as good as the material that you have out there too. And I think Jacob hit on one. It's just, he just knows that he's learned a little bit from how the media is and the social media cycle is, that he can make changes in how he approaches it. But you guys gave him your best shot, and he wasn't afraid to go out there and answer every question as honest and objectively as he could, because he felt your opinion mattered just as much as what he was putting out there. So I think, in my opinion, every one of you guys in the chat room are the stars. Everybody here tonight is stars. Me, what do I do here? All I do is try to direct traffic and make sure everybody has to do what they do. I'm like Barry Sanders, okay? I don't want to take credit for anything, because after this show, there'll be another one. Well, for people that are participating, I'm glad that we made your night and gave you the best way to entertain you. And Jacob took your best shots. And I love what I saw in terms of how this show turned from very bitter and then obviously turned to it was a bittersweet show. Okay, it was it was great at the end. I don't get all these stupid analogies because Candy needs to do a show later. All right, Candy, give me your final thoughts real quick, and you have fire up.
Jacob, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be on this show with you. I started out on this show only as a substitute when people couldn't come on, and I appreciate you allowing me a different female voice than what you're used to be on this show with you. You've taught me so much, and I appreciate that. And what I would say is, I love what you said tonight is that people need to respectfully have conversations and be okay. The one thing this world needs is respect, because I can differ from you, but as long as I still respect you and you respect me, that's what it's all about. Because not everybody is going to always agree with me, and not everybody's going to always agree with you. But you have a right to your opinion, and I have a right to mine, and we have a right to be able to talk about it and discuss it. And that's what I like about this show, is because that's what it allowed us to do.
And you two are going to take, you all are going to take it to another level. I know you will.
Thank you.
That's what we're here to do. We're trying to keep something great going. And all I have to do right now is just not screw up what you created. And I'll do the best I can.
You're going to do great.
To do what I have to do.
And I got to go now, guys. I got to.
Well, so do we. Well, so do we. So on behalf of George Eichhorn, Jacob Christner, Smoking Jeremy B., and of course Candy, this is Scott Morgan. We're out the Motor City of Madmouth. Thank you for joining us on this special edition of Pundit. Okay, and thank you very much to everybody in the chat room. As Dick Vitale would say, you are awesome, baby. Of course, I had to leave out loud, right? And coming up afterwards, Fire Up with Candy, and she'll be your leader after this one. So good night, everybody, and we'll see you next Thursday for another edition of Pundit. Good night, everybody.